Welcome to Waypoint Connect. It's so great that you guys have tuned in. I'm sure now you've either got tea or you got coffee because it's a bit nippy in the air. And it's my pleasure to welcome Tiaan. Tiaan, welcome to Waypoint Connect.
Thank you, Dirk. It's great to be here. I did not get the memo that it was cold today, so I apologize for those of you
For
who are
being
wearing.
inappropriately dressed.
Yeah.
So Tiaan, you've just come, not just, but you've come back from America after spending a week there at Drive Conference. What was your highlight of your trip?
Oh man, so many highlights. I will tell you what it was not a highlight: the 23-hour commute to get there. But even in that, it was amazing meeting. I sat next to some interesting people on the way, and just on that. So as I was flying from Doha to America, I was going via Doha, and I was sitting next to this guy from Bangladesh, this young student from Bangladesh. He's on his way to America. He's going to study there. And I just sat next to him and like give him a fist bump. How are you doing? I'm Tiaan, the whole stuff. And so I could see he was like, quite intrigued, and he was starting to chat with me, and it was a long flight, so we chatted, and eventually along the flight as we were talking, he told me that I had been the first person outside of Bangladesh that he has met. I was the first non-Bangladesh person that he had ever met. And just me greeting him changed his perspective on outsiders completely. And I mean, I was just being, it wasn't I thought I was just doing, the usual, So it just, that already just set the tone for how different and how that the people out there is that don't know better, that don't know what life can be and what people can be, So getting to North Point, meeting some amazing people. I would say if I had to boil it down to two highlights, I think the one thing is, just the amazing network of people around the globe that share this vision of being a church, truly a church that is for the community, that's for everyone, that unchurched people have to attend, and also being a church for the next generation to see what is possible, I mean, just stepping in there into the building in North Point and on a Sunday, seeing the intentionality behind everything they do, it really blows your mind, and it makes you realize, wow, like we can't be playing church anymore. Like the time is now.
Time to stop messing about.
Yeah.
And I think you're right, because even for us, we can get so in the mindset, kind of coming back to your Bangladeshi friend, in that mindset of this is what we do in PE and this is what they do in Atlanta, and it's the two of us that are doing this. And that perspective of yours that, no, there are a lot of other people that are already doing this and are part of this. So that's awesome. And your biggest takeaway from spending the time there, what would be your takeaway?
Man, I'll tell you what, so many takeaways. Kentucky, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's. I think, I was privileged to see Andy live and seeing him talk, but it's exactly the same as what you guys have seen Andy on screen, but he was, it's something that he really is on his heart for the network, but also for the church, not just for the network, but for the churches in general, is really to press into being a church for the next generation. You can't we can't play around with the next generation's faith anymore. You have to be intentional. Everything, and if you're older, if you're a parent, if you're a grandparent, it has to be about the next generation. It can't be about you anymore. That's the whole thing behind Christianity. That's the whole thing that Jesus came to do, was to not be about himself, but to be about you, So, I mean, that's why we're doing something like Avontuurweek here in July, because we really want the next generation to know, and for parents to know that we're for their kids. And it's not just a place where they can come and drop off their kids. It's a place where their kids are actually going to it's an opportunity for them to meet their Jesus maybe for the first time, and for those who are already in relationship to start growing their faith. And I think that is worth everything. Yeah.
It's so important because we connected with a group of youths on Friday, which were random youth. In other words, not from our communities. And I think in our communities, our youth have got a different outlook on life, and I'm talking about life in general. But for your youth out there, they're in one of two places. One is disgruntled. They're unhappy with what they're seeing, possibilities of being employed, finding a job after school, and they're upset about that, and rightly so. But about 2/3 of them are just completely given up hope. They don't see any hope of any of that changing and them being able to change it. And I think what we talk about when we talk about building communities and faith communities, it's about drawing these kids in, and just that simple concept of we can't be about ourselves anymore. Our kids understand it because we live that out. But that's not the normal for your average youth that we find in our cities in South Africa. And if we can just install that one value in them, we're already going to see a difference in our communities. So it really is crucial for us to get it right, be able to connect with that youth and give them a hope, and not a hope that's founded in the world, but a hope that's based on what Jesus has already done for me in my life, and how that impacts and changes my life.
No, I like that. You know, and something that Andy also said was, I think it was his last talk, and he said, you know, the next generation they aren't disengaged with the church because of something that Jesus taught or stuff. In fact, they wish it were true. You know, it is because they feel disengaged. They feel that they are not heard. It feels like it's all talk. That's what they experience when they experience church, and it is our responsibility to change that. Not because, I mean, think about it. What is your natural response when a teenager tells you something? Is like, "Ach, what do you know?" You know, and it's changing that perception completely and bringing them a part of
the conversation.
Making them part of the conversation. Yeah.
And that's the thing that, from the perspective of the youth that I work with, the one thing that stood out for me is stop talking about the youth and engage the youth in conversations about the youth.
Yeah.
And we always think we know better and we're going to give solutions to them, which isn't true. But for our average waypointer, based on what you've seen, experienced, what does the way forward look like?
I wish I could have taken every one of you over there just to see, you know, how that intentionality looks. But what I want to say, and something that was a question that I went to North Point with, that was on my heart, was, God, are we busy with? Are we on the right track? Or are we just playing church again? Are we just, you know, and going there, experiencing the just being overwhelmed by all that, you know, church, like the community, the intentionality they have behind the smallest things in Wambaland and guest service and stuff. I really had confirmation that we are busy with the right things. Yes, we're making mistakes. Yes, you know, we can do some things better and stuff. But I'm really so proud of our community. I'm so proud of what we're doing because we're really doing groundbreaking stuff. I truly believe that. So I want to encourage all waypointers, you know, and keep pressing through the uncomfortability of sometimes serving, sometimes, you know, caring and stuff. Those things aren't easy. Creating authentic community isn't easy, but it is always worth it. The 7 baptisms we had at Easter proves that. Not Easter, 2 weeks ago. It proves that. And this week again, we had someone that gave their life to Jesus for the first time. And I mean, that is the miracle.
That's the celebration.
That's the celebration.
Yeah.
So we will continue to do that, and we will continue to partner with you and with the community. I think the next step for us is letting this community know that we're for them. Really impacting this community, not asking something from them, but doing something for them and showing them that we're for them. Yeah.
So along those lines of showing the community that we're for them, That's exactly the reasoning behind Avontuurweek. It's not designed to be a holiday club so that parents can have somebody to look after the kids during the holiday because school's not on. The idea behind it is to create a space so that we can have children from the community inside of this building. They can get comfortable with the building, but more specifically gives us an opportunity for building relationships. And from that relationship, it's then easy to invite somebody to join us for Sunday because it's not about the Sunday, it's about relationship. And like you've shared, Tiaan, it's about that baptism that we're expecting, people coming to faith and not, man, I've had a great Sunday, I really loved it, thank you. That's not the point. And if that's the point, then we missed it. And if we had to send you to America to remind us of that fact, then that's what we need to do.
I just need to say this, you know, it's not just, you know, America. I mean, if I tell you, I not just met, like in conversation with guys in Australia, New Zealand, France, UK, so many places, Mexico, Brazil, you know, even in South Africa as well. There are so many people sharing this, so many churches sharing this vision, and we're looking at building this network in South Africa and Africa as well, because there's so many churches that we've already talked with that want to be part of this vision. They just don't know how, and how amazing is that, you know, that we get to be a part of that. I think that is just lekker. Yeah. That people like my Bangladeshi friend, you know, can maybe for the first time enter community. I mean, he's going there now to America, knows no one, he's meeting people for the first time, and how amazing would it be if he gets connected to a community, you know. Oh, I love that.
Awesome. Tiaan, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your time being with us. And remember, go and have a look on the website, get the information on Avontuurweek. It's on the app. You can click the link there, get registered as a leader, or get your kids registered, get your friends' children registered. Just make sure the parents register. We don't want any of you doing weird things like registering other people's children.
And we don't want to give away too much, but as a little taster, Dirk van der Mesh will be a special guest appearance at Adventure Week. He won't say it himself, but he's going to be make a special appearance, so your kids don't want to miss that.
So there you have it, guys. Hope you have a great week.